Good morning, everyone, and welcome to ETS1 Introduction to Ethnic Studies. I am your professor for this semester. My name is Professor Hamilton. So let's get into it. So our agenda for the day, for this welcome video, is that I'm going to introduce myself, talk about how you can access me. We're also going to talk a little bit about what is ethnic studies, some things that you need to know, like where stuff is on Canvas, right? What are some of the required materials for this course? You're going to need a library card, and not a Riverside City College library card, but a Riverside County library card. And I'll explain why momentarily. And then also, you guys should know where the syllabus is, so that way you can review the syllabus. All right. So, my name is Professor Hamilton. I am originally from Los Angeles, California, and I am so happy to be here with you guys. I teach in history as well as ethnic studies, and this is the first year that ethnic studies courses are really being taught and housed in the discipline of ethnic studies, which is really exciting. And I'm excited to be a part of that process and that project to kind of get that going. I have been at RCC for 3 years now. And I, since the panorama, love hiking, love being outdoors. I'm a nerd, so I love reading. And just really, I think getting to know myself better. I think that's something that I will argue that this pandemic has taught me, right? That you will learn so much about yourself and so much about other people in the process. So yeah, so that's a little bit about me. My background is in Africology and Africana studies. And basically, that is one of the disciplines that exist under the larger umbrella of ethnic studies. Like you, I am a student. I am a doctoral student, finishing up my PhD. So trust and believe. I know many of you have full-time jobs. I too have a full-time job while being a student, so I definitely understand and I empathize with all the challenges that you might be moving through. If you need anything, there are so many ways to find me that I have listed here. Through email, right? My email is jessica.hamilton@rcc.edu. You can also message me through Canvas. And when it comes to emails and messaging me through Canvas, I will get back to you within 48 hours. If, on the off chance, I do not email you back within 48 hours, it simply means I did not see your email, or I don't know what happened. It got lost. I got distracted. So just resend the email again. Please understand, it is not a desire to not communicate with you. You are more than welcome to call/text me between the hours of 8 and 8. My number is 213-674-1775. 213-674-1775. It's also on the screen there. Due to the scammers of the world, I might not answer a number I don't recognize. So you can just shoot me a text hey, Hamilton, it's me. I'm about to call you, right? And virtual office hours, please stop into office hours. Even if it's just to introduce yourself and to say hello. Office hours are from 8:30 to 9:30, and also from 2 to 3 on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And I highly recommend office hours, not just for this class, but for all of your classes, as they allow for you to forge connections with your professors. They allow you to get additional support in your classes. And really, I find that many times they ensure one's success. I once had this mentor who was telling me that he was on academic probation at UCLA, and he was an athlete, and he was able to pull himself out of academic probation to getting a B average by attending office hours and also asking a lot of questions. And the number one question, or the beginning of the number one question he would always ask was, if you were me, how would you? Right? So asking a professor, hey, if you were me, how would you go about reading this text? Like, what are some of the key things you would look for? If you were me, how would you go about studying for this exam? If you were me, how would you go about writing this paper? Right? What are some of the key things that you feel must be included beyond whatever has been given to us in the guidelines, right? And out of this, he was able to get so much information from his professors that at one point he was studying for an exam, and he's like, okay, professor, so based upon, our conversations, I'm understanding that this, and this is going to be on the exam. And the professor looked at him and was like, where we have a problem, like, how did you see this test? And he's like, I didn't. You have been giving me all this information over the past few weeks in the process of me coming to office hours and asking. So office hours can be a really great space. And also your professors are literally waiting for you to engage with them. So I recommend it. A link to office hours will be posted in the introduction section of the class on Canvas under the introduction module in the module section. So what is ethnic studies? Ethnic studies is the interdisciplinary study of race as well as ethnicity that is centering the perspectives of people of color, right? So this way we're centering their knowledges, their histories, their writings, in order to understand both the cultural, the societal, the intellectual, and historical experiences that really construct racial, gender, and cultural identities within the U.S. And some of this will do the work of tying to locations outside of the U.S. as well, right? Because mind you, many of people of colors, we have home places, whether we can point to them on a map or whether they exist ideologically, that we connect ourselves to, right? That have meaning for us. So we'll discuss that as well. And so ethnic studies can include disciplines like history, potentially can include art history, right? Maybe you want to study Chicano art in the United States in the 1950s, right? Or can look at literature. It can look at political science, psychology even. And really what ethnic studies does is it removes us from this idea that everything is universal. Because oftentimes so much of the way we understand the world is culturally informed, right? And so in the process of evaluating or understanding certain cultures, we are removing this lens of universality to really understand, okay, what does it mean to be Black and queer and poor, right? In this space, but not necessarily assuming the the normative understanding of queerness that has been theorized and created by white queer scholars, right? So we'll talk way more about it as we continue on. You guys will be very clear as to what ethnic studies is. I promise you, do not worry. And so how ethnic studies got here to RCC is honestly because of this man right here, right? So this is George Floyd. And I know all of you remember the protests that arose out of the murder of George Floyd as well as Breonna Taylor in 2020. And it was out of these protests that, you know, many people began to realize, like, okay, we are in the middle of a racial awakening, right? We're in the middle of a moment where we can't keep things the same anymore, right? The status quo is no longer working for us. And so as a society, how do we create a more just world? How do we create a more equitable world? And so, at least in the state of California, there was the decision to have all of the CSUs make ethnic studies a requirement for graduation, right? So you have Gavin Newsom signing AB 1460 into law, and it mandated that all students attending CSUs take an ethnic studies course. So anyone who started school this year, that applies to you. If you did not start school fall of 2021, I feel like these years all blend together, then you might want to check in with the counselor if you are enrolled in this class solely for a requirement. I know that's none of you, but just in case, check in. If you came here prior to fall of 2021. And so, but either way, I hope you stay because this class will benefit you, right? And so how can this class impact you as a person? Well, studies have shown that students who take ethnic studies courses, it actually not only improves your GPA in all subjects, not just that, oh, this course is going to be easy, so therefore you have an A, so your GPA is improved, right? But it informs this knowledge that you are learning in these spaces, informs how you show up in your biology classes and your other general ed requirements, or even within your own major of orientation, right? And as a result, studies have shown an increase in the likelihood of college graduation. It empowers students in having a sense of identity, of self-awareness, of community, of civic engagement. It promotes belonging for many first-generation college students. It cultivates an attitude of racial literacy, which, if we are being completely honest, this is a nation that was built upon race, right? This was a nation that was built upon race. You should know what that means as a person in this nation, right? But you should also understand how that has shaped how you move about space today in this present moment. And it also helps to improve your critical thinking as well as community building skills. And so courses that are offered at RCC, in addition to this course, we have Intro to Chicanecas Latinx Studies, Intro to African American Studies, Women of Color in the U.S., Introduction to Black Feminisms. We have a philosophical course called Survey of Black Thought. There are two sections of, or we'll say two parts to African American history, a survey of Native American literature, survey of African American literature, Latinx politics, race and ethnicity and politics in America, a survey of Asian American literature, Latinx literature of the U.S., Native American cultures, Native American histories in two parts, part one, part two, interdisciplinary research methods in ethnic studies, as well as Asian American history. So many of these courses, the vast majority of them, count for Area F, but also count for other aspects of IGETC and CSU GE approval. So look into it. Talk to a counselor if you are interested in taking other classes as well. And so for this class, you are required to sign up for just one of these 3 texts. They are all memoirs. And so the first one is Minor Feelings, An Asian American Reckoning by Cathy Park Hong. The second is When They Call You a Terrorist, a Black Lives Matter memoir by Patrisse Cullors, as well as Aisha Bandele. And the final one is Undocumented Americans by Carla Cornejo Villavicencio. And so you're going to sign up on Canvas. It is first come, first serve. You will need to sign up by the 3rd week of class. So that is the 28th of February. And for those of you who are wondering how to sign up, I will show you momentarily. And you will also need to sign up for a Riverside County Library card. Throughout our time together, we will be utilizing a platform called Kanopy. Kanopy is like a streaming platform, like Netflix is a streaming platform, but it has a lot more documentaries, and it also has feature films as well. But we will mostly be utilizing documentaries in order for us to engage throughout the semester. And if you sign up for a library card, Kanopy is free to you. So once again, this is not the same as a Riverside City College library card, but it is the library card for the entire county. If you do not live in the county, it does not matter. All you have to do is be a state resident, and you don't have to worry about picking it up because you're just using it for an e-library card. Now, if you want to have like your own library card for yourself, I think that's important. You should do that. But for the sake of this class, you're just using it for the digital content. And so I will open up this link. This link is also available to you via Canvas. I'll show you in a moment. But you see here, it'll say select a home library. It doesn't matter. If you live near one of these libraries, perfect. If not, you can just pick one. You're going to enter your zip code. Don't worry about it. It'll still let you continue. If you don't have a zip code, you don't know your zip code, you can always look up the zip code to RCC itself, right? That's totally fine as well. You can use RCC as the address if you don't want to enter in your own personal information. I will say that if you ever have any issues with signing up for a library card, and you need help, there's the help button right there. Click it. Oh wait, nope, let's not go to that one. We'll go to this help button. Go to the help button at the bottom. And you can go to contact us. It is a purple page. At the bottom, you will see a little chat button. With this chat button in the bottom right, you can connect with a librarian. It's too early in the morning right now, so they're not available, but ordinarily there's a person who's available during the library's open hours and they will support you. And so when it comes to finding things in the course, welcome to ETS1 is where you are watching this video right here. You also will have a memoir sign-up sheet. That is where you are signing up for one of those 3 books. And so here's a memoir sign-up sheet. Right here, you are able to edit it. And basically what you're going to do is you are going to press edit. You're going to go down to the book that you want. You're going to enter your name and then you're going to save it. If the list is full, you're going to find a different book. This is first come, first serve. If all of the lists are full, just email me. Everything you need really is in the modules section. If there are any announcements, then this announcements section will pop up. Your syllabus can be found under the syllabus tab on the left-hand side. And each week you will see a welcome to ETS1. You're going to sign up for your memoir. If you need to sign up for a county library card, the link is here. There are assignment guidelines that will live here in the next module. You will also have extra credit opportunities, right? The first of which is going to be a Canvas profile photo. Community resources. If you need to find assistance with food, helping to pay your bills, or other free or reduced cost programs, by all means, they exist here under the community resources page. Also, oh my goodness, in this class, you'll be able to earn extra credit for applying to scholarships. Why? Because your ability to be financially stable while obtaining an education is an issue of ethnic studies, is an issue of equity. So you'll be able to earn potentially up to 30 points throughout the semester in extra credit. So one of the texts that you'll be using is by Annalise Singh, The Racial Healing Handbook, Practical Activities to Help You Challenge Privilege, Confront Systemic Racism, and Engage in Collective Healing. And it is there. As you scroll down, you'll see week 1 module, Introductions and Expectations. Every week, you'll see a weekly overview. Click on that first. So for each week, the first place that you're going to want to go within the module for the weekly module, right? So for the week 1 module, you're going to want to go to the week 1 overview. This week is largely introductions and expectations, introducing you to this course, introducing you to the syllabus, right? Introducing yourselves to each other. And so I enumerate step by step, hey, so a successful way for you to complete this week is as follows, right? So review the welcome materials, which is you listening to this video. Check, right? Read the syllabus, complete discussion form number 1, sign up for a memoir via the memoir sign-up sheet, complete the readings that are in the module, and view assigned media. And that's it. Thank you guys so much for your energy and your attention, and I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. If you have any questions at all, by all means, please text me, email me, let me know how I can support you. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. Take care.